Oh my god. What's up guys, Delzinski here, and I just caught the final segment on Monday Night Raw, the 2nd of December, the contract signing between the WWE Champion Randy Orton and the World Heavyweight Champion John Cena. That's right, at TLC we will see an undisputed champion be crowned. Well, at least that's what I hope we will see be crowned, because there was a Twitter poll held on Monday Night Raw where the WWE Universe was given an option to choose what they would like the new championship belt to be called. And they decided that they wanted it to be called the Unified Championship. Now the poll was pretty close, but the Unified Championship doesn't really float my boat. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. Back in the day, the belt was called the Undisputed Championship, and now, at the present, the Undisputed Championship still sounds absolutely fine. I mean, you've got to think about it. The Unified Championship, if we're going to call it that, then that has got to go on for the foreseeable future. And to me, it sounds better if, the belts are unified and then we crown an undisputed champion. So the belts are brought together and then we crown the undisputed champion. That's the way I feel it should work. It shouldn't be that the belts are unified. Then moving forward, every single champion after that is referred to as the unified champion. It just doesn't have a good ring to it, in my opinion. So, for me personally, I would rather the new championship belt be called the Undisputed Championship or the WWE Undisputed Heavyweight Championship. Either of those will suit me just fine. So guys, let me know in the comments box below what you think the new championship belt should be called. Because it seems like it's a talking point, and it seems like WWE are testing the water with what the fans would like it to be called. And I'd be interested to see if you guys agree with the WWE Universe. Do you like the name Unified Championship, or do you prefer the traditional Undisputed Champion? So let me know via the comments box below your opinions on the championship belt situation. Now moving on, because this is what I really want to talk about, the final segment, because, God, if you're a Cena fan, this doesn't vote well, because unfortunately, look, let's just cut to the chase. Cena absolutely pissed me off in this final segment, because this segment was going so well until John Cena opened his mouth. But I'll cover that in a minute. As I say, guys, I don't want to come across like I'm hating, but I think I'm going to, because this segment did get my blood boiling when it comes to John Cena. But I will come to that in a minute. So basically, we had Triple H and Stephanie McMahon come out. They introduced the WWE Champion, Randy Orton, and they introduced the World Heavyweight Champion, John Cena. Now, it's interesting, again, that Triple H and Stephanie are not so confident in Randy Orton still. You can still feel that there's some sort of divide, some sort of animosity between the WWE Champion, Randy Orton, and the authority of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. And it's been going for a while now, and there's constant little digs being poked at Randy Orton. I mean, Stephanie covered the main dig, which was that Randy Orton has referred to himself as being bigger than the WWE. And Randy Orton pretty much looked at Stephanie like, I didn't say it like that. I didn't come across that way. But the way you're putting it, you're making me sound bad. And the general feeling and the general consensus is, at the moment, they are really critical of Orton in every segment. Because I think that, number one, they're not happy with Orton's ego. And number two, he's supposed to be the face of the WWE. And Orton's ego is elevating him to think that he is bigger than the WWE. And in Randy Orton's promo, he cements that point. Now, after introducing both superstars, Triple H went on to talk about the history of the championship belts and the type of superstars that have held both championships. So he really put over the true meaning of both belts and the fact that bringing them together and unifying them is a huge landmark, a huge step for the WWE to bring the belts back together again. And it was heavily promoted as well that there will be one champion. This keeps being said. There will be one champion crowned at TLC. So whether or not we're going to get swerved on this, I don't know. But it is being drilled into our skulls that we are getting one champion. So that's very interesting. So we'll see how that plays out. But anyway, both superstars were introduced. And then we got to the nitty gritty. We cut to the chase as we let both combatants cut a promo. And it started off fantastic with Randy Orton, I have to say. Orton was cutting a fantastic promo. And do you know what? My favourite bit of Randy Orton's promo was when he turns to Triple H and he says to Triple H, look, you've talked about all these guys that have held the titles over the years, but none of them, including you, none of them are as big as me, Randy Orton. And I thought that was exceptional because that cemented Orton's ego right now. Orton thinks he is the man right now. And he should be. But he's being promoted as a coward, and he's being promoted as the authority having no faith in this champion whatsoever. As a coward, in fact. He's a cowardly champion that Orton's promoting. So, Orton's cutting a fantastic promo, and to be honest, it felt like the old days. It felt like an Austin Rock scenario. Heated. It felt good. And he hasn't felt like that for a long time. And then, as Orton's about to hit the punch, you know, the Viper's about to strike, Cena spoils it with cutting him off and speaking like a child. Now, if you don't know what I mean by that, Orton's in character. Orton is cutting the promo of a champion. Then Cena cuts him off at striking point. And when I say that he talked like a child, what I mean is to then try and imitate Randy Orton. It's pathetic. It's such a cowardly and cheap way to get over with the fans. It is PG-ified. And I don't like to use that term because I don't really care that WWE has gone PG. But what I do care about is that we still have those feuds and that heat between superstars. And by God, why did Cena have to go for that approach to his promo? Why couldn't it just be a smart promo? Why did it have to be the childlike mimicking of Randy Orton? Because that's what Cena came across with in this promo. Not just that as well. Whenever Cena gets in a big name feud, he did this with The Rock. He addresses Randy Orton on Monday Night Raw as one of the greatest champions of all time. In fact, he's one of the most charismatic superstars. Hold on a second. Is this deja vu? Is this not The Rock, John Cena all over again? You cut this promo before. It's frustrating. We don't want to hear it again. Well, I don't. But yet Cena does. So anyway, Cena cuts his promo. And there are some key points in the promo as well, not just the childlike attitude, but Cena talks about earning victories. And Cena says that Randy Orton has been given it on a plate. The championship was given to him on a plate by Triple H. Who are you to criticise Randy Orton and his title reign when you came back from injury and immediately got a title shot with Alberto Del Rio? You are the golden boy of the WWE. You are the one for 10 years with the silver spoon in your mouth. Fact. The reason why this made my blood boil is because time after time after time after time, we have seen this John Cena, this gimmick, and it's never any more interesting. It never feels in the moment when John Cena cuts a promo. Orton felt like he was in the zone. Triple H had teed it up. Orton cut his promo only to be chopped off by John Cena, and Cena then didn't hit it out the park. Cena cut that same promo, the one that speaks almost as if it's outside the universe. He's not in the zone. It's not him and Randy Orton in the room. It's not two mega powers gonna collide. It's not that. Because he is always playing up to the people around him, the fans around him. He's never really talking specifically to Orton. It's always to Orton and the universe. And it just never feels in the moment. When I look back at people and feuds that I've seen, The Rock and Austin, always in the moment, talking to each other like men. You had promos cut from the likes of Hogan, Savage, hell, even Warrior. Warrior was nuts, but he was always in the moment. And I always feel that Cena lacks that, and it frustrates me because we've seen it pay-per-view after pay-per-view. And when he comes back from injury, he's slotted straight back in that top slot, and we've got it again right now. I mean, I can't say much more, and as I say, guys, you might completely disagree with me. If you do agree with me, then I'm sure you will pick up some points that I've mentioned. But if you don't, that's absolutely fine. This is what the Lowdown's about, for us to discuss wrestling. We all have our own views. We all have our own favourites. We all have superstars that we dislike. Each to their own. Anyway, after they'd exchanged the verbals, then we saw technically all hell break loose, which, to me, pay-per-view's not that far away, so I guess they need to get it in the mix a little bit, but I do prefer the fact when you keep them separated, because it just makes the match that much better that they finally do get to collide. But anyway, that didn't happen, and they did exchange tables, ladders and chairs, and it was, unfortunately for me, it was John Cena left standing, which was highly predictable because Cena really was the superstar that WWE were putting over tonight. Orton was belittled from beginning to end. His promo that he was cutting was very strong, only to be cut off by John Cena. And then after this, he took a hell of a beating from Cena. He went through 2 tables, for goodness sake. This is the WWE champion. He's going through 2 tables. He's not even allowed to duck out the ring and have a bit of credibility when it comes to John Cena. And to make things worse, Triple H and Stephanie were watching, and they really didn't look impressed. So again, it adds this sort of look of dissatisfaction with the WWE champion. They're not happy that Orton is the face of the company. They don't think he's doing a good enough job, which only can lead me to believe that they are trying to edge this to everybody, thinking that potentially they might be looking at a new face of the WWE, and they could very well be pointing that finger at John Cena, whether he likes it or not. So guys, there's something to think about there. There's lots of talking points from this segment. Don't get me wrong, the segment was good, but it was Cena's delivery that I didn't like. So let me know what you think of the segment. What do you think is going to go down? Did you like it? Do you agree with me with my views on Cena? I'm sure there are plenty of Cena fans out there that won't. But as I say, this is what the Lowdown is about. To talk about topics. Nobody's right. Nobody's right. Everyone's entitled to say what they want. And as I say, everyone's opinion is welcome. So let me know what you think of this final segment on Monday Night Raw. And also, how do you think this storyline is going? Or where do you think this storyline is going? Let me know in the comments box below. This is a very hyped Delzinski from this episode of The Lowdown, saying please rate, comment and subscribe. This is Delzinski, signing out.